Hey crochet friends, I'm Tiffany and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to crochet the giant size of the board game checkers. So if you would like the standard size, which I already have on my channel, the link to it will be in the description. Now you can make your boards 100% crochet, or you can just crochet the board and then buy the checker pieces. So I will leave a link to these in the description, and they will arrive looking like this. So the red was pretty bright and I wanted it to match my yarn. So I went and bought spray paint in the closest color I could find. And the spray paint I used is this Rust-Oleum, and I made sure to pick gloss because these pieces are shiny. I wanted to keep them shiny, and it's in the color burgundy. And this yarn is medium weight, size 4 in Red Heart Super Saver in the color black and in the color burgundy. I will leave a link to this in the description. I don't make any money from this, and it only came with a 5-in-1 spray. There was no other option, and I didn't need anything except for the 2 setting, which is the standard spray. And I just did 1 coat on each side, and I let each coat dry for an entire day. Now for the tutorial, I am gonna stick with Red Heart, but it is their soft line, and it's in the color black and in the color light gray heather. Now you will need 2 crochet hooks, whereas the standard checkerboard video, you'll only need the I-5.25. For this video, you will need the F-3.75mm. Then you will need a pair of scissors and a darning needle to weave in all of your tails. Okay, so for the tutorial, I'm gonna refer the color red to color A and the color black to color B. So color A, color B, color A, color B. You want to start with your color A, so that's the gray for me. Grab that and we'll get started. Okay, we're gonna begin with a slip knot. So I lay my yarn like this, and I pinch the bottom with my thumb and pointer, and I pinch the top with my middle and ring finger so that it creates a loop like that. I make a heart with my right thumb and pointer. I go underneath this loop, just under my nails, and I make sure that there's tension. I turn just my right hand facing down so that there's an X. I turn both my hands together, and then I grab this yarn right here, hold on to that, and then I pull my hands apart. And the knot will cinch up and you have your slip knot. Now grab your 5.25mm, put your hook through the loop, and pull that knot up towards your hook. And I like to be able to see down it a little bit. And only with this color, we are gonna chain 114. So you put your crochet hook in front of the yarn, wrap it around 1 time, and take that yarn through the first loop on your hook. For 1 chain, you go in front of the yarn, wrap it around 1 time, and take that yarn through the first loop on your hook. 2 chains, keep doing that. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around 1 time, take it through the first loop on your hook. Okay, to start row 1 in the 3rd chain from the hook, we are going to do 1 half double crochet. So you do not count the loop that's on your hook. That's your first chain, your second, and your third. And I just go under the top loops. You go under whatever loop you want. I find the top loops to be easier. So you go in front of the yarn, wrap it around 1 time, and then go into your chain. Go behind your yarn, pull that yarn through your chain. You have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to go in front of the yarn, wrap it around 1 time, and take that yarn through all 3 of these loops. And you can pull down on your chains, and it leaves a gap under these 3 loops to make it easier to pull that yarn through. And you want 14 total half double crochets, so 1 in each chain for 14 times. So we've done 1, we need 13 more. So to do a half double crochet again, go in front of the yarn first, wrap it around 1 time, then go down into your chain, just under that top loop, go behind your yarn, pull that yarn through your chain, You have your 3 loops on your hook. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around 1 time, and take that yarn through all 3 of these loops, pulling down on your chains to make a gap under all 3 to make it easier to pull through. And just keep doing that. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around 1 time, go into your next chain, under just the top loop, go behind your yarn, pull that yarn through your chain. You have your 3 loops, go in front of the yarn, wrap it around 1 time, and take that yarn through all 3 of these loops while pulling down on your chains. So just keep doing that. You do not want to complete your 14th half double crochet though. So do 13 total half double crochets and I will help you out with the 14th one. Okay, I have 13 half double crochets. I haven't done my 14th one yet. So you want to lay your work down for a second, grab your color B, and you're gonna make a slip knot with your color B. So I lay my yarn like this. I pinch the bottom with my thumb and pointer, pinch the top with my middle and ring finger, make a heart, go underneath this loop, just turn my right hand facing down. I make sure there's tension. I turn both of my hands together, grab just this yarn, hold on to that, and I pull my hands apart. Now you just want this ready. You don't want to use it just yet. You just wanted to have it made. Start your 14th half double crochet. So go in front of the yarn, wrap it around 1 time, go into your next chain, go behind your yarn, pull that yarn through the chain. You have your 3 loops. Now you're not going to complete your half double crochet with this color, so you want to take it up and over towards you. Grab your slip knot, put it on your crochet hook, push that knot up towards your hook where you can still see under it. So I pulled it too tight where you still see under it. Now pull that yarn through all 3 of these loops. Just like that. And you're doing that because it keeps your 14th half double crochet completely solid, because you want 14 half double crochets. So that is why we color change when we do. Now for this tutorial, I'm gonna take the tail and just put it to the back. I would lay it along my work, but it's another thing that you'll have to see, and black is already annoying to see. So we need this color A to be over here when we need to do our gray square again. So we need to carry our yarn along these chains while doing our next square. So if your half double crochet got a little tall, you can pull on your color and it can get it back to looking like the height of the rest of them. Now I like to have my color B up to the top, so they're both to the left. My color B is up here. My color A is down here. They will never have to be moved. We'll never tangle these, because when you color change, that can happen. It's not going to happen in this tutorial. So lay your color B up here, your color A down here, and you will be just fine. Now you're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 14 chains with your color B now. So go in front of the yarn, wrap it around 1 time, go into your next chain, and it might be hard to see because I'm also laying my color A along my work. Go behind your yarn, pull that yarn through the chain. You have your 3 loops. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around 1 time, and take that yarn through all 3 of these loops and pulling down on these chains. And now you have a solid half double crochet for your next grouping. So again, go in front of the yarn, wrap it around 1 time, go into your next chain and under your yarn that you need to carry, go behind your yarn, pull it through your chain. You have your 3 loops. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around one time, and pull it through your 3 loops. And again, you want 14 half double crochets, but you don't want to finish your 14th half double crochet completely. So you need to do 13 and meet me back, and I will walk you through how to do that 14th one again. Okay, I have 13 half double crochets. I'm going to start my 14th one. So go in front of the yarn, wrap it around one time, go into your next chain, go behind your yarn, pull that yarn through your chain. You have your 3 loops. Now you do not want to complete your half double crochet with this color. Wherever your yarn is sitting, you want to lay or drop your yarn in that direction. So it's up here, I'm putting it in that direction when I drop it. You want to grab your color A, wrap it around your crochet hook, and take that yarn through all 3 of these loops. That way your 14th half double crochet is a complete solid color. So now you want to carry your color B along your work while working with your color A now. And you want 14 half double crochets again. So go in front of the yarn, wrap it around one time, go into your next chain, and under your color B, go behind your yarn, pull it through your chain. You have your 3 loops. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around one time, take that yarn through all 3 loops. And you want 14 stitches again, but you're going to change colors on that 14th half double crochet. So just continue. You can stop at 13 and I will walk you through how to do the 14th one again. So now I'm going to do my 14th half double crochet. So you go in front of the yarn, wrap it around one time, go into your next chain, go behind your yarn, pull it through your chain. You have your 3 loops. Now this is your color A and it's sitting over here, so you want to take it up and over towards you. You want to pick up your color B, so it's going to crisscross like that. That's how it's supposed to look. You're going to take your color B, wrap it around your hook, and take that yarn through all 3 of these loops. Just like that. Now you want to lay your color A along your work again. And now you can continue doing your next 14 half double crochets. So go in front of the yarn, wrap it around one time, go into your next chain, and under the yarn that you're carrying, grab your yarn, pull it through your chain. You have your 3 loops. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around, and pull it through those 3 loops. And you're just going to repeat this all the way down your chains. Okay, I have 13 half double crochets, and unlike the 14th half double crochet you've been doing, you're not switching your colors at the very end because you want your next row to remain this color square. So just for this 14th one at the very end, you do want to keep your yarn the same. So go ahead and do your final 14th half double crochet with your color B. Now to start row 2, you're going to chain 2 with your color B. Don't worry about your color A. Turn your work. And my yarn's still not twisted even though I've turned. So we want to do 14 half double crochets with our color B, carrying our color A along our work. And you want to make sure with the half double crochets that you're going under the right loops. So if you look at it from the side, these look like stitches to go into. That's not your stitches. You want to look at it from the top and see how you have another set of stitches. These are the correct loops that you're going to go under. So these two chains is the turning chain. That's not the stitch, that is the stitch. So go in front of the yarn, wrap it around one time, go into your stitch, so under those top two loops and underneath your color A, go behind your yarn, pull that yarn through the stitch now, because we have stitches instead of chains. You have 3 loops on your hook, go in front of the yarn, wrap it around one time, pull that yarn through the 3 loops. And that is my next stitch. Go in front of the yarn, wrap it around one time, go into your stitch, also underneath your color A, grab your yarn, pull it through your stitch, go in front of the yarn, wrap it around, pull through all 3. And you can keep pulling down on your work, it makes the space under those 3 loops bigger. And you want 14 half double crochets again. Now this is a good time to look at it from the back, and you see how I can see my color A. So let me take my hook out for a second. It's poking through. So hold on to the side of your work above and below your color A. Pull on your color A at the same time. Just slightly. You do not want to change the shape of the square, but enough to make that color A disappear. Just make sure you flip it and look at it every once in a while. So let's do the 14th half double crochet together. And this is where we need to change our color. So after you have your 3 loops, remember your color B goes to the back. We're still doing that. Take your color A, go up and over, take that yarn through all 3 of these loops. And then you can take your color B, lay it along your work, and also pull it a little bit so that it makes that stitch back to normal height. And then you want to do your 14 half double crochets with your color A now. So go into your stitch, also under your color B, do your half double crochet like so. And it keeps this a complete black square and this a complete gray square by color changing that way. So complete your 13 half double crochets and I will meet you back when I need to do the 14th one. Okay, now let's do the 14th half double crochet where we need to change color. So this is your color A you're working with. Bring it up and over towards you. So it's crisscrossed. Grab your color B, wrap it around, and pull through. And if your stitch is too tall, pull on that yarn, get it back to normal, lay it along your work, and then work on your next grouping of 14 half double crochets. You're just going to repeat this all the way down your row, and I will meet you at the end and show you the next step. Okay, I'm towards the end. I have one more stitch left, and this is also where you do not want to change your color yarn because you want that next row to remain this color. And your final stitch faces the back a lot more, so just don't forget about it. Keep track, count your 14 so that you know you have 14. So do your final half double crochet to complete row 2. Now you're going to chain 2 with your color A and turn. You're going to carry your color B along your work. So start your grouping of 14 half double crochets with your color A. and then you can pull on your color B so that it stays hidden. And I can help you with your 14th half double crochet again. Okay, let's do our last half double crochet. And this is where we do want to change the color. So take your color A, up and over, grab your color B, wrap it around, and pull through. And now you're ready for your next 14 half double crochets. Just like that. And you're going to continue this all the way down. You're never changing colors on your final half double crochet because you want to keep your squares the same when you turn. And you're going to continue row 2 and row 3 over and over. So we're on row 3, go up to row 9, and at the end of row 9, don't complete your last half double crochet. We will go over that together and I'll walk you through it because you do want to change color at the end of that row. Okay, I have 13 half double crochets at the end of my row 9. I need one more. So start your half double crochet with your color B. And then when you have your 3 loops, drop your color B to the back, grab your color A, wrap it around, and pull through. And now we will have a color A square above a color B square. Now with your color A, chain 2, and turn. And you still want to lay your color B along your work. Now this is going to be the only row where it's going to blend in with the same color. So it's going to be difficult to see with black, but I am laying this along my work. And you can tell these are the 2 chains. So the one right next to it would be my first stitch, and that's where I need to go in to do my first half double crochet. Also under the yarn that you need to carry. And then you need 14 half double crochets with your color A. Okay, this is my 14th half double crochet where we need to switch colors. And this is the color A, so up and over, grab your color B, wrap it around, and pull through. Then get your color A back to the normal height. Lay it along your work and it's going to blend in because it's the same color for this row. And then start your next 14 half double crochets. Just like that. And now we have swapped the colors. So continue this all the way down. I will meet you at the end and show you the next step. Okay, I'm at the end of my row. I have one more half double crochet to do, and we do not want to change colors because we want to keep this the same color again. So now we're back to where we repeat row 2 and row 3 by finishing your rows with the solid color. So do your 14th half double crochet with your color B. Do not change color. And then chain 2 to start your next row and turn. Make sure to carry your color A and then do your half double crochet with your color B. And then you again want 14 half double crochets. You're always going to have 14 for every single square. And then check on that other yarn, pull it if it starts to peek out. And now you're just repeating row 2 and row 3 again, but now you've just swapped your colors. So we're on row 11. You're going to go up to row 18 for this grouping. So at the end of row 18 is where you need to switch your colors on that last half double crochet, because you want it to go back to the squares below. So rewind the video if you need help with that color change again. At the end of our row 9 is where I walk you through it, but you're just repeating this over and over and over. There are 9 rows high, just over and over again. And you're going to go to row 72. So at the end of row 72, do not complete your last half double crochet, and I will walk you through that stitch, and that will be majority of your crochet checkerboard. So have fun crocheting this, and I will see you there. Okay, I've made it to the end of my row 72, and I have 1 stitch left, and I wanted to walk you through this because we need to switch colors again to get to row 73. So continue with your color B to do your final half double crochet on this row, and this is where you'll stop here to do your color change. Drop your color B like you've been doing, grab your color A, wrap it around, and pull through all of those loops. Now we're gonna chain 1 instead of chaining 2, just chain 1 for this row and turn. Now all we're going to do for this row is 1 single crochet in every single stitch instead of a half double crochet. But I'm only going to worry about my color A right now for this final row. And you're going to go into the same spots like you were your half double crochets. So I know black is hard to see, but that is my first stitch. You're going to go into your stitch, go behind your yarn, pull the yarn through your stitch. Now you'll only have 2 loops. You're going to wrap the yarn around and pull through both of these loops. And that's how you do a single crochet. You're going to go into the next stitch, do the same thing. Go into the stitch, go behind your yarn, pull it through the stitch. You have 2 loops. Wrap the yarn around and pull that yarn through both of these loops. And you're just doing this all the way down this entire row. 1 single crochet in every single stitch. Okay, this is my final single crochet at the very end. And our checkerboard is complete. That is all you do. So now you can yarn off. You can either cut your yarn, or you can do a chain 1 and cut your yarn. All right, we are going to start with a magic ring, and I'm going to use my color A. You also need to switch to your 3.75. So to do a magic ring, I like to hold my yarn like this, and then with my right hand kind of guide this yarn. So wrap it around just your pointer and middle finger, crisscross over. Now, as long as this is a little bit of tension, you can let go of your thumb because it won't really make this yarn go anywhere. Hold down the X now with your thumb, rotate your hand, and then I like to kind of, with both of these fingers, just hold onto that yarn, like that. Grab your hook now, face it down, and then go between your pointer and middle finger. Go under the first loop, over the second loop, and then pull the second loop to the right. This is pretty much as far as you need to go. Rotate your hook so it's facing up. I kind of get it down enough to grab a hold of it. I lift my my ring and pinky to give this space right here because you need this yarn. So you're going to take your hook, go behind this yarn, and you're going to take that loop through the first loop on your hook. Like that. Hopefully that made sense. And then I'll hold on to this yarn, and you can get both of these fingers out because it's not going to go anywhere. And you can pull on, so like hold on to that like chain right here. You can pull on your tail. It can make the magic ring a little bit smaller so it's easier to work with. If it's too big, it gets really complicated to work with. Now that's considered a chain, and we need 1 more chain to start the checker piece. So wrap the yarn around and take that yarn through the first loop on your hook. So we're gonna do double crochets in this magic ring, and we need 12 of them. So wrap the yarn around first, take your hook, go into this magic ring, and you're going under those top 2 things of yarn that's like twisted. Go under that, go behind your yarn, pull that yarn through the magic ring. You have 3 loops, kind of like how you have your half double crochets, except you're going to wrap the yarn around and take that yarn only through the first 2 loops. You're left with 2 more loops. You're going to wrap the yarn around and take that yarn through the last 2 loops. And that's how you do a double crochet. So we need 12 total. So that was 1, we need 11 more. So wrap the yarn around first, then go into the magic ring, go behind your yarn, pull it through the magic ring, wrap the yarn around, take that yarn only through the first 2 loops, and then wrap the yarn around again and take that yarn through the last 2 loops. And keep doing that till you have 12 double crochets. And to close this magic ring, you're going to pull on your original tail. So just pull on it and it will close up the hole in that middle. Now you're gonna find your first double crochet. So you could count back 12, but that one right there is my first one. You're gonna go under the top of that stitch and you're gonna do a slip stitch. So go behind your yarn, pull it through the stitch, and then take that yarn through the other loop on your hook. Now for round 2, you're going to chain 2. That does not count as anything, it's not a double crochet, but you're gonna do 2 double crochets now in every single stitch. So wrap the yarn around, go into the first stitch, go behind your yarn, pull through, wrap the yarn around, pull through 2 loops, wrap the yarn around, pull through 2 loops. You're gonna do it in the same stitch all over again. So wrap the yarn around, go into the same exact stitch, because you want 2 double crochets now in all of them, like that. You're gonna do 2 double crochets in the next and 2 in the next, and you had 12 double crochets. You're now gonna have 24 double crochets. Wrap the yarn around, go into the same exact stitch. Okay, after your 24 double crochets, find your very first double crochet and slip stitch to the top of it. So go under those top 2 loops, go behind your yarn, pull your yarn through the stitch and take that loop through the first one. Now to do round 3, you're going to chain 2 again, and it does not count as a double crochet. In that same stitch, you're going to do 2 double crochets, just like the previous round. So 2 double crochets all in the same exact stitch. Like that, but you're only going to do 1 double crochet in the next. And then you're going to repeat that, do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Go back in the same stitch. then do 1 double crochet only in the next. Like that. And you're gonna have 36 double crochets for this round. Okay, when you make it to the end of this round, you're going to slip stitch to your first double crochet again, just like you've been doing. Do your slip stitch. And to do the final round, which is round 4, we're going to start by chaining 1 instead. And we're going to do front post single crochets around every single double crochet. Now to do a front post, you find your stitch, and instead of going to the top, there's a space to the right and left of it. You're going to go into the right side and out the left side, but you're going to stay on the front of your work. So your crochet hook's in the front, find your first double crochet, go to the right of it, behind it, out the left side. So you're in the front of your work with your hook. Now we're going to do a single crochet, just like a normal single crochet. You're just going through this space instead of the tops of your stitches. So go behind your yarn. You're going to take that yarn behind this double crochet. So that'd be like going through the stitch. That's where you're taking it instead. You still have your 2 loops like you would a normal single crochet. Wrap the yarn around and take that yarn through both of these loops. You're just doing single crochets around the post of these double crochets. So let's do that again with the next one. Find your next double crochet, go to the right of it, behind it, out the left side. You're on the front of your work. Do your single crochet. So go behind your yarn, pull that through the space. You have 2 loops. Wrap the yarn around, pull it through both of those loops. Let's do that again. On the next double crochet, to the right of it, behind it, out the left. Whoops. Go behind your yarn, pull it through the space, 2 loops, wrap the yarn around, pull it through both of the loops. You're doing this with every single double crochet. Once you get the hang of it, it's a lot easier. And you could have stopped at the end of round 3. It's going to be a flat crochet or checker piece, but if you can, like, really try to do this round, because it turns the edge into that. Like, it makes it turn into a checker piece. This round is so worth it. So hopefully this is making sense and you can accomplish these front post single crochets easily. Just take your time. And you had 36 double crochets, so if you keep track, you're going to have 36 front post single crochets. So just work all the way around. I will meet you at the very end when I've accomplished my 36 as well. Okay, I have my front post single crochets completed, and if it tends to curl, it's because we didn't do any increases. So kind of just pull on your edging and it evens itself out. Now to finish, you're going to find your very first single crochet and do a slip stitch there. So go under the top 2 loops and do a slip stitch. Pull your yarn through and take that yarn through the first loop. Ta-da! And you can again chain 1 and yarn off that way, or just cut your yarn and without chaining 1 you can just pull through. But see, there's no like knot right there. If you chained 1, there'd be a little bit of a knot and it wouldn't do that. But we're gonna secure these tails The only downfall is you need 24 of these pieces total, so 12 of one color, 12 of the other color, and you need to weave in both tails of all of these pieces. So that's the downside. Now to weave in your first tail, it's going in this direction under the magic ring. So you're gonna go back in this direction, and it locks in the magic ring so it will not reopen. And don't pull it so snug that it changes the way that it looks. And then you can just weave it in however you want. You can go in all directions now, and you have a lot more area to weave this in versus the standard checker pieces. So lots of directions. Really, you only need to go in like 3 opposite directions and it's secure. Just like that. And then I will weave in my other tail real quick. And that is how you make a checker piece. So I think that doing that final round is what makes this a checker piece. It's so stinking cute. I love it. It makes it so that the middle of it is still thin, just like the checker pieces. They're thin, but the edging stands out. Love it. It's worth it. And you need 12 of each, so make 12 of color A, 12 of color B. You put them on the black. You can spray paint the plastic pieces, or you can leave them alone like this. It's giving Nintendo vibes with this color. I love it. And have fun making your checkerboards. Bye, crochet friends.